What's up, boys? It's Sunday, about 5:30. As you can see, she's looking a little cleaner. For the first time, I used a silicone spray, and I'm a big fan now. I'm definitely gonna pick up a couple more cans of it. Once you have it, relatively clean, it makes a huge difference in terms of like how the plastics look. Everything feels real healthy and looks healthy again. So I'm all about it. I mean, you can just tell by looking at it. I am a little disappointed. I'll talk about some of the stuff I got in there, some of the pots that I got in, but I don't know if you can see down in there. Nah, you can't. But there's a tiny bit of diff oil. Must be leaking from this side of the seal. And this is that FID diff. I mean, I don't know if the more expensive ones leak either, like the RC Max or the NPR, or is it NRP? Yeah, I believe it's NRP. I don't know if those leak too, but I mean, this one here has the bearing and then the seal. Just kind of sucks, but it's not leaking profusely. It's just leaking, and I hope that it wouldn't. But yeah, so enough of that. I got some new bead locks for the next track day. Those bead locks with the little teeth on them, they just, like I was saying, they just fucking hold all the dirt and clay. So these are those DDM ones. I picked them up on the Black Friday sale for like $4.99 or whatever they were, $3.99 a pair. Got red, of course. My 30 North body is basically pink. But yeah, I might end up just wrapping it. I'm tired of looking at it the way it is. So as much as I don't want to spend the money to see it get destroyed, it looks even worse with the nice looking red bead locks and then that like mauve pinkish color body. But enough about that. Got the Bottleone clutch housing or clutch carrier. The FS clutch is in there. It came with a white 8,000 RPM spring, and I've never seen a white spring before. I left it in, so I'm hoping it's a strong spring. It's a worthy spring, but I left it in. The grabber bell is what I chose to use. The stock one is the stock X2 bell, the stock one that I have, and it's not vented at all. So I figured I should probably, the reason I got the Bottleone carrier was because it was on sale for Black Friday for $42, and I'm running the FS clutch now, so I need to have as much air as possible in there. Finally joined the outerwears club. No more cheap outerwears. I still have to put my pull stop one on, but what a difference. I had a feeling there would be a difference in the quality between the what is it? I can't think of the name of it. RC Max or whatever that is that you see there. I had an RC Max one, a Rovin one, which are basically the same quality, but this is much better quality. And it was kind of nice getting all my pots from DDM, and every one of them, was advertised as being made in the USA, and the quality is just so much better. It really is. And I see now why a lot of people preach about buying the, fifth scale pots that are made here in the USA. There really is a big difference in the quality. They go the extra mile, as far as making sure you're getting the stuff you paid for. Other than that, I mean, there's really not too much other than cleaning her up. There's not too much I got to do. I took the preload out of the rear suspension. If you watched that last video, you'll notice I was bouncing around a lot. I had these are the King Motor springs. I thought that the red Losi springs that I replaced, had all four on there. I thought that the Losi springs were just sagging already, that they were worn after one season. So I ended up putting those King Motor ones on, leaving them up front because they still felt strong up front. But really, I was just concerned with the sag that it had in the ass end, and I guess it's just gonna sag. That's just kind of the way these things roll. In terms of racing, you don't want the ass end really high. You don't want the preload really hot, otherwise you're going to be bouncing around, and that's what was happening to me. If you watch the video closely, you'll see, my truck versus the guy that owns the track. In terms of the way it was landing, the way it was handling corners, hitting bumps. Huge difference. His truck was just soaking it up. And he actually saw the fact that I was bouncing around and made that comment. And I told him, I said, yeah, I got my preload adjusted way down, plus I got really hard springs in there. So I just took the preload out. I didn't change the shock weight. I didn't have any leaking issues with the shocks, so I left them the way they were. Had to tighten up a couple things. These were really loose on each side. other than that, we're ready for December 15th, man. We're ready to go. The kill switch, I couldn't get it to act up again, so I'm gonna of course run it before the 15th. I'm gonna take it to work with me and take it out for a rip after work. Make sure the kill switch isn't having any issue anymore. That whole, glitching out thing it was doing. I did end up putting this on there just to keep the. I normally put a zip tie down there to keep it away from the outdrive, but this seems to work better, and the zip tie is a pain in the ass. So yeah, there we go. That's the X2, the Sick and Tired RC X2 on a budget and ready to race again. Even got myself a bottle-owned sticker. I feel like official now. Finally bought some real deal shit. And that thing is quality. I'm glad I went with it. It was either that or the Hostel one. But at Bottle-owned, man, I've heard nothing but good stuff, and you can tell his shit is quality. So as far as the Baja's concerned, I got her sitting over here. I figured I'd touch on this real quick. What I did was I took it out last week. Yeah, I took it out last week, and unfortunately I thought I had enough charge in the receiver pack to get a good run in. I got it out there maybe 15 minutes later. The kill switch, low voltage cutoff, killed it. So I took it home. What I did ended up doing that day, or what ended up happening that day, was I snapped a pin earlier in the day. I ran for about 15-20 minutes in some real harsh, like thick sand, and I snapped one of the dog bone pins, and these are the pins that have a grub screw in the dog bone. So I ended up putting another one in there. I had some extras, and I had cut a little notch in it so that the grub screw can hold it better. And I'm assuming that's the way the factory pin was designed. It disappeared. It blew out on the inside and ripped out and shot out of the boot, I'm assuming, because it ripped up the boot pretty nicely. But yeah, so I got that replaced, and then I got back out, and the receiver pack died. So I put a fresh charge on it, got rid of the, one of the things I ordered on Black Friday was a Vertigo 17 tooth pinion. So I went from the 16 that I had on here. I was running 1856, right? Yeah, I had an 1856, and that's what I was told would be a good gear match for this engine. And I imagine it probably is, based on the high speeds I was getting out of it, but I want a little bit more torque out of the jump, and so I went back to 1757. I didn't have a 57 Hostel Spurs, but I did have a plastic one, a brand new black plastic one. So I put the Hostel alloy carrier on it, popped that in there, and put the new Vertigo Easy Access. It's got this huge diameter hex that it's a special pinion that is designed for this unit. And so I ordered that. It was like 20 bucks. So we're rocking 1757 stock gears again. And I threw a little bit of that silicone on this, and you can see, man, it's just, and it feels good. So yeah, man, we're going to get her back out. As you can see, I got rid of the Chase mudguard that I bought and, had on there for a few years now. I got rid of the side mudguards, these panels here, just trying to cut some weight. And I'm contemplating getting rid of the stock chassis. There's a difference from what I have been able to find out of about 200 and so grams, about 250 grams between this and the Lighten chassis. Roven sells one, and you can buy one from DDM for basically double the price. I'm assuming one's probably better than the other, but I don't know. I just figured maybe I'll buy the Roven one for 45 bucks or 40 bucks with the discount and see, see what kind of a difference that makes. But she ran really good. Before the battery died, it was really starting to open up. I checked the plug. I got a good, nice brown paper bag look to the plug. So I'm assuming I had the tune somewhat, dialed in. And it wasn't picking itself up in the air yet, but I hadn't lightened up. I hadn't taken a few pieces off it yet. And, I don't know. Maybe it's just not capable of pulling wheelies like I wanted it to. There's a few on YouTube that I've seen pull wheelies, or that you can watch the videos. That guy Bebop RC, the one that makes the badass wheelie bars, he's big into big boy engines now, ALX, C-Max, that kind of stuff. But he had a Baja with an SCZ in it, and it seems like he got into a bit of modification internally with the engine. So I really don't know how to compare the two, because I'm assuming his wasn't stock, but he was definitely pulling wheelies. I mean, he's got a video labeled SCZ power wheelies, and the thing just picks it right up. But yeah, I mean, I'm proud, I'm happy. The X2 is looking good, and I feel like I made the right decision as far as the pots that I bought. And it's just a matter of getting them out and getting running. So stay tuned, guys.